If you ever find yourself riding through the mountains of Morgan County, Tennessee, I invite you to take a visit to the small community of Wartburg. This charming, sleepy little town was founded back in the 1840s, when a wave of Swiss and German immigrants arrived to the area. They named their new home Wartburg, after the Wartburg Castle back in Germany. By the late 1870s, the community had diversified to the point that a new Presbyterian church was planned and finally constructed in 1883 on the southern boundary of town. And nearly 140 years later, this beautiful church still stands with its cross towering above the small town skyline. Ah, look at that church. Isn't it beautiful? Now, educated scholars would tell you that this wood-frame church is a folk Victorian building, borrowing stylistic elements from both the Gothic Revival and the Queen Anne architectural styles. Long before government institutions such as public assistance and public education, this church was a beacon of hope in Wartburg. Indeed, during the 1890s, the church was even used as a school during the week. Yes, sir. Inside these walls, the foundations of faith in God and love for family and country were taught to as many as 60 children each day. Just imagine for a moment, there's a teacher reading a book to young children circled around the coal stove which originally heated the church. By the 1930s, electricity was added to the church, and in 1937, these beautiful chandeliers were installed and added even more charm to the interior, complete with original tongue-and-groove floors. The church originally had theater-style seating, but they were replaced in 1953 to traditional church pews. For me, the simple style of the church is the secret to its beauty. What would these walls say if they could talk? Would they talk about the time in the 1940s where all of Wartburg's children attended school here due to fires in both the public, middle, and high schools? Or would they talk about the first aid classes that were taught here during World War II? Would the walls echo with the sounds of singing worship music? And what about that original cross from the building steeple, resting in the corner of the sanctuary as a reminder of the church's endurance and a beacon of light since the 1800s? Yes, sir, there's a lot of history here in this perfectly preserved church. Now, the church was officially added to the National Register of Historic Places in 2013. Oh, but don't let that fool you. This church is still active. Services are held every Sunday. The church still provides much-needed humanitarian work in both Wartburg and Morgan County. This church still stands as a beacon of hope today, just as it has for the past 140 years. Next time you find yourself in Morgan County, Tennessee, stop by and admire the beauty of the Wartburg Presbyterian Church. And if the doors are open, come on in. They'd love to meet you. Thanks for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to this channel, where I share all sorts of Appalachian history and storytelling. Till next time, my friends.